like you just mentioned.
Yeah, we started our preparation for this game on Saturday, on Tuesday, so before the game against the second game against Vancouver. But it's clear, yeah, you can see it also yesterday what they have done. A lot of quality, especially with the ball, individual quality. What we have to defend, and this is our job. What we have to defend all together in our defense behavior as a team, and this is the main part for us. And then when we can create the spaces for us in our offensive transition moment, and also to be very, very brave in our moments, and especially with the ball in these situations. And then we will see what happened on Saturday.
Thanks, Anthony. Coach, what are you taking from the Montreal game? Things that you guys did well that you want the team to repeat against. It's a different team, but against Miami.
Yeah, I would say against Montreal was especially with the ball our situation against man marking of Montreal, and in some situation Miami is playing similar in some areas, in some spaces, man marking. But I would say especially what we need is what I said at the beginning. We have to defend all together to support each other when we lose a duel, and it could be happen on Saturday as well when we lose a duel in a 1-against-1 situation. But then that we are very close, that we are very connected to help to support each other. That's necessary for us. And of course, this is then to be very dangerous in our set pieces moment. And what we have to improve as well is then especially our transition moments. I'm pretty sure this is what we need then as well on Saturday.
Back to George.
When you look at this part of the schedule that's about to come, how have you been looking at your roster and trying to manage everything? Or are you putting together the plan ahead of time, or you're going game by game to sort out how you're going to put together your teams?
Yeah, that's the reason, because we know this schedule also beginning of our season, and this was the reason as well that we have some rotations at the beginning of the season. And that we also didn't take risk for some players with injuries, something like that. And now some players coming back, like Kyle Duncan, for example, which is very important, but we handle at the end the load. But now our main focus is not to think about, okay, what is end of the month. Our main focus is now to go step by step. So the first step is now, it's a big step now for us to go on Saturday, and then to look how is the situation after the game. And then we are traveling directly on Sunday then to Colorado to prepare very serious our game there. And I would say it's more to go then step by step, but we know everything about the schedule, about everyone is important then for us.
Go back to Anthony. Coach, is it fair to say that we should expect to see Daniel Edelman play significant minutes on Saturday?
Yeah, he returned to training yesterday, and on Tuesday was a more modified training session for him in our team training session. But yeah, we have also to look then. We have to look, don't take the risk now because of then our schedule for this month. But he's a very important player for us, and we will see if he's ready on Saturday, but I'm pretty sure he will be ready then the next games.
Next, we go to Dan on Zoom.
Oh.
Good afternoon, Sandro. Hope you're doing well. After watching last night's Miami match against Vancouver in the Champions Cup, maybe a change of tactics in this one on Saturday, or it's going to be the same as always?
We are changing, or
maybe just I don't know if you saw something that to exploit Miami for Saturday.
Yeah, we will see, but so the main part is what I said every time is our principles. So we want to play very active, we want to play very aggressive, and I think the key for us could be that we want to play very intensive. This is the main part on Saturday, and then we will see. But yeah, the principles is similar. Maybe to change some positions in our structure, we will see.
I don't see any more hands for Coach. Anthony?
I'll go one more.
Yeah.
Kyle Duncan obviously returned last week playing full 90. How proud are you to see him go that length? And what did you see in training this week that made you feel like that was the right choice? And,
and we had in this morning before our team training session a conversation, and I have shown him some sequences, some individual sequences from the last game, and it's the best example when you are working so serious, so professional. During your injury time and with the whole medical stuff, they made a great job with him. That he's such in a top spot in his first game, and that's great to see how he adapt directly our principles in the first game, and this is what we need. But now it's important, especially on Saturday, he will play. That's clear after his performance against Montreal. But now it's the next step, not to think too much now, to play complicated or something, to play the same style, very serious, very simple in our defense, to be very strong in the duels. But it was really, really good, and it's a good example, best example, how he handled with the whole medical stuff, this not so easy time in his injury.
Go to George.
Do we have a timetable on Morgan? On Lois.
Sorry. The timetable is 10 days. This is now the timetable. 10 days to come back in our team training session. Now he made good steps. The first steps outside individual on the field. A good load with our medical staff, and I would say 10 days is then. Is the moment then to come back in our team training session. So then I'm pretty sure he will then also available in this month.
Next we go to Christian on Zoom.
Hi, good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
Apologize for my voice.
No, it's okay.
I wanted to ask you on Victor Bogax, just what have you seen from the player, his progress with the team, and then also any specific words that you mentioned to the players going against one of the best players like Messi and Inter Miami?
Yeah, first of all, Victor, and I think that's for all of us, not only for me as a head coach, for all of us around the club, in the club, to have the patience as well, that it needs time also, because he was injured the whole preseason, and then now, especially in this week, he made a next step, and he was injured now last week, short injury, and this is then this was not then difficult to come in the rhythm, but is a player with potential, is a player with especially with the quality in the box to find the moments, and but of course is a young player, and then it's not every time easy, and that it's not going then so quick to come here in this new country, in this new league, and directly to be ready because he was injured. But is a really, really good player, and we need him as well then. But this is what we have to continue step by step in his development. And the second question was?
About any words to the players about playing against Lionel Messi.
Yeah. This is okay. We talked in general about the tactical situation. So when we are talking about Lionel Messi, he's one of the best players in the world. We know that, and with his quality in the far half space, especially with his left foot, and to come inside, to have these chip balls to Jordi Alba, then Jordi Alba his quality, then Suarez his quality with his deep runs. So it's more that we are talking how we want to defend together, and not then that our wingback or fullback is then responsible for one player of these guys. No, we have to defend this all together. This is what we need, but at the end, and this is then also individual for us in our offensive behavior, to be very brave when we have the ball, to have the connection, and that's it at the end. And then, this is what we have to do on Saturday to show this on the field.
Peter, you've been down this road before, the Miami, train, this and that. Mm-hmm. What is it about this team this year that you've seen that makes you feel more confident about your team's ability to take it to them?
I think it's the same as always. I think with them, it's a very tough game always because the quality they have. I think it's just the same really team as last year. I think they're obviously still top of the East or up there. I know they were unbeaten until obviously the last weekend, but it's still such a good team with high quality for sure. But yeah, we've been, like you said, kind of been down this road before. We know what it's like to play these guys. I mean, we've been on both sides. We won 4-0, and then we lost the last time 6-2. So it's kind of been a back and forth game between us two, and I think every time we play, it's usually pretty exciting. So it's going to be a good challenge for us, and we're hoping to go down there and do our best.
So, George.
How could it get after the past few weeks that you guys have had? I'm going to say a bit of consistent great moments. How can this game be a catalyst towards the rest of the season against a team like this?
For sure. I mean, I think the first thing that stands out is we haven't won on the road yet this season, and you always want to try and gather as many points as you can on the road. So I think to get our first, we're always in these next couple even games just trying to get that first win on the road, which is always, a kind of a relief amongst the team and stuff, and we're fighting for that and vying for that. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to try and do that, and kind of get on the run here for sure in this busy spell.
Go back to Anthony.
Peter, knowing what's coming, the quick turnaround between this game to then having to be in Colorado Springs, how do you prepare your body? Is there anything that you change, whether it's in your training or anything that you do to make sure, not knowing whether or not you're going to play both games or not?
For sure. I think we have, a lot of people, like soccer's changed so much over the past couple of years. There's so many, roles with, sports scientists and everything's tracked. Every step you take is tracked and stuff. So they do develop, really good programs for us to always feel fresh and ready for the games. Even though they're in quick turnarounds, they do modify training a bit to make sure we're feeling right going into those games. And yeah, I think we're lucky in the sense that we don't really have to do much ourselves. We kind of show up and they have the plan for us. But you definitely try and do, little stuff on the side to make your body feel great. Every player is different, but yeah, it's a busy spell, and you have to do for sure everything in your power to feel as good as you can when the match day comes, whether your name's called or not, for sure.
Next, we'll go to Dan on Zoom.
Hey, Peter, hope you're doing all right today. Obviously you play with Emil Forsberg, and he's a world-class player within his own right. But when you're going to be facing Messi, Suarez, Alba, Busquets, they're world-class players, I guess, in their own right. And what does that feel for you when you got to face them as an opponent and not like you probably used to watch them on TV as a kid before you became a professional?
I think I learned the lesson the first time we played them. I think even when he came on at home against us in 2023, you kind of learned the lesson that you can't, sit there in awe because they will hurt you. So I think that's the most important. I think we learned that in 2023 when they came to Red Bull Arena. And then last year, Messi obviously wasn't playing at home, but they still had Busquets, Alba, and them. And I think we took the game to them and won 4-0. So I think maybe the first time it was kind of like what is going on kind of situation. But now I think we realized if you do that, you're only going to get punished in a sense. So I think maybe the first time in 2023, but now it's our job to go out there and get 3 points and win. So
next, we go to Christian on Zoom.
Hi, good afternoon, Peter. Thank you for your time. I wanted to ask you on the team. Obviously, this season they have struggled to get a win on the road. Just tell us why has that been a problem, and perhaps how that could be different against one of the best teams in the league like Miami.
I think these road games, I think we're doing okay. I think I think Cincinnati, we should have gotten a point at least from that game. I think we dominated the first 60, 70 minutes of the game, and then New England was not our best game, but we should still get maybe a point from that, give away a penalty in the last minute. And then Orlando was a tough game, obviously, but to take away a point from there is good. But I think we need to just execute at a high level for sure to get those 3 points. I think we've shown we can do well on the road, and then now it's about capitalizing on those good moments. And of course on the road sometimes it can be tougher, maybe tougher spells, but I think we have the team to ride those spells out and then also capitalize and create good chances to get 3 points.
I don't see any more hands raised for Peter. We have time for one more if anybody has one. If not, we'll let him go about his day. George?
I just asked Sandro before we started, Messi or Ronaldo?
Yeah, Messi for me. I grew up a Barca. I like Barca more than Madrid, so
I got you.
yeah.